It's shameful. I have been in Australia for 6 decades, but I have never visited the Outback. The solution? A 1-week dirt ride in the centre of Australia, visiting all the iconic landmarks. Ayers Rock, the Olgas, Kings Canyon, Chambers Pillar, and the incredible Finke Gorge. It's the Rock 6-day tour, courtesy of Outback Motorcycle Adventures. Day 1, we start at Alice Springs in the red centre of Australia. There is a bit of highway before we hit the dirt. The plan? We will ride some of the infamous Fink desert race track. Lunch will be at the well-known landmark Chambers Pillar. We ride through desert oak country to finish with a ride along the Fink River, the world's oldest known river. The guys only run these tours for 6 months of the year to avoid the deadly heat of the outback summer. It's currently winter, so great temperatures for riding. It can get chilly at night, but the guys will provide us with warm swags, hot food and campfires every night. Woohoo! The Fink Desert Race Track. This is the fastest desert race in the Southern Hemisphere. The pro riders can reach 190 kilometres per hour on some sections. And in 2022, David Walsh averaged about 130 kilometres an hour on his record-breaking win. Jeff and I slow down as we reminded ourselves that injuries often happen on the first morning of tours like this. And sure enough, we had 2 riders taken to hospital by lunchtime. The soft sand is great practice, as there will be plenty of soft sand sections over the next week. All the bikes came with steering stabilisers. These make a big difference for sand riding. I can see why most desert riders use them. We watch for the danger signs, red circles or squares. Even at our low speeds, it is good to know when there's a tricky section ahead. It's hard to imagine the fastest riders doing 180 kilometres per hour, then hitting the brakes hard for these sections. The corner markers are similar. The curves are so gradual, the signs seem redundant at our low speeds. Still up the stag pegs. I don't know if you can see them on Jeff's bike. They got the big desert ones. 3 rubber pucks. Man, it just takes all the pressure off your arms. There are plenty of crests which can be tricky. If you slow down too much, the front wheel digs into the soft sand and you can lose your steering. One of our guys demonstrates the technique. Woo! If you are interested in riding the entire racetrack, the guys at Outback Motorcycle Adventures have a 2-day tour of the Fink racetrack. Or if you are crazy enough to enter the race, they have support and hire packages. And it's back to easy dirt roads. The Outback is big, seriously big. Riders told me about the endless vistas, and it's hard to comprehend until you are actually here. At the end of the first night, Jeff said he felt so insignificant. We were just simply tiny dots on this massive landscape. It definitely puts everything into perspective. There is the sense of timelessness too. The Outback features some of the oldest, flattest landscapes in the world due to very little movement of tectonic plates. So we are riding in landscapes that can be up to 500 million years old. And Indigenous Australians have lived here for around 50,000 years. Very basic crash, but a sore knee. And we're almost there. Chambers Pillar. If you can see that little pillar in the background, that's our destination. Unfortunately, Simon wasn't wearing any knee guards. It was a simple crash in first gear, but it fractured his tibia. He ended up in hospital and was scheduled for surgery. It's a good reminder to always wear knee guards at an absolute minimum. And many of us have spent more money on knee braces for extra protection. Another rider, Mark, crashed in soft sand and had multiple rib fractures, so he was off to hospital as well. I have been on a few tours where riders are injured on the first day. So Jeff, Coxie and I keep reminding ourselves to go slow. We can always increase the speed toward the end of the trip and at least do most of the tour before hurting ourselves. Some big rock formations on the horizon. Our lunch destination draws near. The Aboriginal legend says that the pillar is the gecko ancestor Itukawara, who was exiled for taking a wife from the wrong skin group. When he and his wife stopped to rest among the sand dunes, they each turned into one of the locally prominent rock formations. Itukawara became the pillar and his wife became Castle Rock, which is nearby. White Aussies used these as landmarks on the way to Alice Springs before the railway was established in 1920. Time to hit the road. We load our injured riders into the support vehicle for transport back to Alice Springs. We'll definitely be taking it easy now. Plenty of guys organise their own Outback ride, but one of the advantages of this tour is that arrangements have been made to ride across various private properties. Without this access, we would spend a lot of time on highways trying to join up the dirt sections. These properties can be seriously big. An example, Anna Creek Station is bigger than quite a few countries like Israel. This property is smaller, but we will spend the next few hours riding across part of this cattle station. There is a lot of variety in just the first few kilometres. Soft sand tracks, this dried dam with a hard polished surface, and a rock section through low hills. I must introduce you to Stretch. He is only 5 feet tall. He had to do a running start to get on his bike. I think this Sherco was lowered, but he was always happy to swap bikes with others as he couldn't reach the ground on any of them. The amazing thing, this was his first time riding on dirt roads and tracks. He has plenty of experience with road riding and racing, but adventure and enduro riding? Zero. Normally it's very difficult for road riders to swing across to dirt riding. But Stretch said he was always comfortable with the rear sliding out in road racing, so this soft sand doesn't present too much challenge. The variety of terrain is always surprising. Soft sand keeps alternating with hard-packed dirt. The Adelaide-Darwin Railway Track. This runs all the way from the south of Australia to the north for 3,000 kilometres. It's got a fascinating history. We'll discuss this in the next episode. We keep following the railway track to where it crosses the Fink River, the location of our campsite for the first night. And here we are, the Fink River, the oldest known river in the world with an estimated age of 400 million years. It only flows for a few days a year, and when this happens, the water usually disappears into the sands of the Simpson Desert. The riverbed is very wide at this point, so we go exploring. I can see why they chose 500cc dirt bikes for these tours. The sand is much softer than it looks, and it needs a lot of power to stay on top of the sand. Our tour leader went for a very fast trip up the river, but said it got a bit hairy as he couldn't see the dips and bumps in the sand. It all looks the same in strong sunlight. Damo has done the Fink Desert race a lot, so who knows what crazy speeds he was attempting. We know there are cold beers waiting for us at the campsite, so it's time to head back. Our support crew already have dinner cooking, so it's time to sit around the campfire, admire the sunset, and tell tall tales about how well we rode today. I can't wait for tomorrow.